has been my favorite generation of Pokemon for the past 3 years. When Pokemon X and Y first released, they added several new features to the game that made the games feel like a completely new experience compared to the previous games. And because I usually spoil a game's story rotten and have only recently gotten away from that, I don't like it anymore. I want to spoil it again. And that's how it'll be for the Gen 7 review as well. So, take it away, Robbie Rotten. This game is in a largely different timeline, one that began with the remakes of Gen 3. The reasons for it being a different timeline I'll explain later. So the actual story begins with Caleb/Serena being awoken by their mom's fletchling. After they wake up, put on their base clothes, yes I said base clothes because they can change their clothes later in the game, isn't that amazing? They walk outside to see their neighbors. Really, this game kind of gets rid of rivals. And also, as a future note, I'll just be calling the main rival Serena/Caleb as Serena due to making things simpler. So Serena and your other neighbor, Shauna, introduce you to your other neighbors in the next town. Tierno, who wants to bring out Pokemon moves through dance, and Trevor, who wants to complete the Pokedex. It's at this point where you have your choice of starter. Chespin, the eventual grass fighting type, Fennekin, the eventual fire psychic type, and Froakie, the eventual water dark type. I like these guys. They're probably my favorite of what we've seen so far. And I thought nothing would beat Gen 3's. Either way, you got your pokes, you got your decks, it's time to go to the forest. And past that forest, and past the first gym leader, you get to Lumina City, where not only do you get to pick a Kanto starter, not only do you get to battle Professor Sycamore, not only do you meet the champion and the villain of the game, but this is where you agree to be Serena's rival. And before going to the next gym and getting a fossil Pokemon, we have a run-in with our fashionista villain team, Team Flare, who, while epic in the anime, is a little lackluster here. Lysander is obviously the big bad, but he covered it up through adding to Kalos' beauty. After battling Gym Leader 2, Caleb and Serena fight over the Mega Ring to become a Mega Evolution successor. Mega Evolution being the next step to becoming closer with Pokemon, as they gain new forms and stronger stats. Obviously, you win and you battle Karina, Gym Leader 3, twice. Once for the Rumble Badge and twice for the Mega Evolution itself. After being given a Lucario and bringing the power back to Lumina City, you go through the second half with more Team Flare incidents. And after battling Gym Leader number 7, Lysander openly admits to Kalos that he is the head of Team Flare, and he either plans on restoring the world's beauty with Xerneas, or fucking it all up with Yveltal because the world is too far gone, and he's using the legendary Pokemon to unleash the power of the ultimate weapon, created by Lanky Longlegs King, AZ, because of the meteor landing 3,000 years ago, leading to the creation of Mega Evolution, but also a war that would take away AZ's Floette. As such, Lysander kidnapped him, and now it's up to Caleb and his friends to stop Lysander's plan. You do, and you continue with the normal Pokemon fare. You beat the champ, though this time there's another boss battle afterwards. A fight with AZ as his Floette returns to him. How sweet. How is this like Gen 4 again, Tamashi? Just because he wants to make a new world doesn't automatically make him Cyrus Mark II. Their motives and reasonings are completely different. This game took a very big step. After 7 years, we are on a completely new engine with 3D models now. We have non-bit scratched music, and it sounds amazing. And the music playing at the Gym Leaders Challenge, while it did have to grow on me, sounds awesome. However, the designs of the characters seem unrealistically chibi. Though I guess that makes sense as it's a staple in the Pokemon franchise, as for the past 5 generations at the beginning, you're shown your full-body character shrinking into the size of a chibi character and entering the Pokemon world. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's been 6 generations now. I think it's time for a bit of a change. The basic gameplay is the same as previous generations, but there are several new things added. First of all, we have a new type. The fairy type exists to basically knock dragon types down a peg and give more of a purpose to poison and steel types. Along with that, in the actual battle scene, we have Mega Evolution. Some Pokemon gain new forms when they hold their respective Mega Stone. My favorite's definitely Mega Gardevoir. My tanky vert is the Fates tank. I don't even know what I just said there. Also adding to battles are the bottom screens. One of these is Pokemon Me, where you can pet your Pokemon and make them love you more, which can potentially land you critical hits, avoid more attacks, and even evolve Eevee into a Sylveon. I find this to be a nice distraction from the main adventure. It doesn't really add anything, but it doesn't really take anything away either. Next up is Super Training. This is a sort of mini-game that can raise your Pokemon's EVs and IVs. I never really bothered with that sort of thing, but it makes your team stronger, so that's cool with me. And then there's the PSS system, which allows for an easier way of communicating with local players and online players. Even now, people still prefer this system over what Gen 7 brings, but that's for later. An issue with the game is that, well, it doesn't have a normal mode. Its easy mode is with the EXP share, which goes back to its Gen 1 roots of giving EXP to all of your Pokemon. Because of this, your Pokemon will be overleveled by the time you get to Diantha, the champion. Though you can always decide to, turn it off, but then when you're at the champ, you'll be vastly underleveled. This is hard mode. Because of this, you'll either need to use a game-breaking EXP share or use Mega Evolution every single battle just to get through the game smoothly. At this point, Generation 6 is my favorite Pokemon game. Gen 6 added so many new features that adds to the gameplay with larger means of storytelling, overall making a fun gameplay experience. With interesting characters such as Lysander, AZ, and Karina adding to the overall experience of the game, I'd say this game is definitely worth it. Do yourself a favor and play this game. It's my favorite of the normal style of Pokemon game. But what do I mean by that? You'll find out next month for the finale of Pokemon Season 2, Pokemon Gen 7. See you in February, everybody. Also, Happy New Year.